It's Not Nerds. I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Sarah.
And Sarah's filling in for Vince today.
I am.
Vince and I were not able to get together this week to do our videos because we got totally snowed out.
Yeah, and iced out.
It's crazy icy outside. So Sarah's filling in for Vince today, and that's why we have this lovely red backdrop behind us, because we're not at Vince's place. So
yeah, no Two-Face and no poster.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, right. So you're seeing us on the set of Late Night. Okay, so Sarah, today
Yes.
you and I are going to talk about how we like to experience movies.
Okay.
And so we're going to talk about seeing a movie on the big screen versus waiting for video and everything in between.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so you aren't huge into theaters. Like, you don't have to see a movie in a theater.
No, I certainly love the experience, and it's fun seeing a movie in the theater, but I don't have to. If I miss one, then okay, I'll just rent it when it comes out, or Netflix it or something.
If I had my way, I'd see every movie I see in a theater. I just prefer the theater experience. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of the typical guy in that I want to see it on a huge screen. I think that's part of it. But I enjoy the experience of just having to go out to go see something. It's an event, as opposed to going out to get a video or waiting for it to come on Netflix or streaming it on TV. You know what I mean? Like I like doing that too. But like the second or third time I see something, I'd prefer to see everything big.
Sure. Well, I don't know. I mean, you can make an event at home. You could get some popcorn. You can buy a 2-liter.
Yeah, you could put it on a projector screen if you have one. We do.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
that's true.
Fire
that's
in the fireplace. Theaters don't have that.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I mean, we've got a really great popcorn popper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in the theater to have a good time.
That's really interesting, because you kind of are all about the home theater experience.
I love that. It's setting it up, and you're just making an evening out of it. And you don't have to pay $20.
Sarah's kind of weird because she has to have, she can't have popcorn at the beginning.
No.
She has to wait like 20 minutes into the movie, and then we have to like pause it, and she has to except like, you won't even let me pause it. You're just like, no, I'm going to go get popcorn. I'm like, you're going to miss stuff. Like,
well, if I've never seen it before, I'll pause it.
Yeah, right.
But if it's a movie like, Ghostbusters or something that I've seen a million times,
right.
Just keep going. I know this part, and I'll just make popcorn.
Now, are there movies that you've seen on the big screen? Because I certainly have this, but I'm just asking you. Are there movies that you've seen on the big screen where you said, thank goodness I saw that on the big screen? Like, I can't imagine seeing that on the small screen.
I'd say there are probably a couple that aren't coming to mind, but the one that sticks out for me is Watchmen. I am really glad I saw that big first. That was an experience I'm not sure I could capture even with my projector at home, because it was just cool.
I mean, I think you loved that movie so much. I think you still would have liked it, even if the first time you'd seen it was small.
I haven't noticed any difference for me seeing, like, just say your average action movie, seeing that big or seeing it small first. It's the same thing. I think with me.
So you think like the A-Team would have been the same thing?
Yeah. Oh, especially like the A-Team or James Bond when that came out, or anything like that. It would have been just the same for me, smaller. I think for me it's because I follow the plot more, and I'm more interested in just the story of what's happening rather than looking for specifically special effects. And I feel like I see, okay, that special effect happened and it was cool, but how does it enhance the story?
Sure, but I would make the argument that seeing it the way it's intended, because a lot of movies, or at least especially big blockbusters, are intended to be seen on the large screen, and I would say that certainly can enhance storytelling, depending on what it is. I think seeing Watchmen large enhances that movie. It's larger than life. You need to see it larger than life.
Yeah.
Things like that. And actually, I would make the case. I'm just making this up on the spot, but now that I'm thinking about it, I would make the case that most of the movies that I can't imagine only seeing small, that I would want to see really large, are movies that have that larger than life quality. You know what I mean? Where they're ultra stylistic, or there's just something about them that is so outside of the realm of reality that I prefer it to be to be big because it is.
Yeah. Well, one thing I've noticed about the theater...
The Matrix is like this. Jurassic Park is like this.
One thing I've noticed about the theater experience is that I think maybe it's because of the surround sound or, you know, whatever, the giant screen or whatever it is, you do seem to be put more directly into the universe of the film.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So...
Well, and why do you think that so many people like to have surround sound and like to have really large TVs? They're trying to capture that experience.
Yeah.
And that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one that's a lot of fun, certainly, but I'm not sure it's, for me, a necessary part of viewing a film.
I don't know. Again, it depends on the movie. Obviously, superhero movies are always on the forefront of my mind because of what I do on YouTube. There are probably really good examples of other things, but I'll just mention the couple things that are coming to my head right now. I can't imagine having not seen Batman Begins on the big screen, and that's a movie where I kind of hate seeing it on the small screen sometimes, just because I don't, or if I don't have surround sound, because there are a bunch of places in that movie where the sound's coming at you from all over the place, and I don't know if you remember that about that movie with the bats. I mean, it's fantastic. And Daredevil has a scene like that also in the hospital.
I remember
when he wakes up, it does not have anything like the same impact on the small screen. And I mean, in the when I saw it in the theater, that was a really big deal for me. I was like, this is really cool. They've set this up in such a way where the sounds are coming from, where they're trying to make you experience what the kid's experiencing in the hospital room when he wakes up for the first time and he starts realizing what his powers are. And when I saw that the first time on the small screen, when I saw it on like cable or something, I was like, after the theater, I was like, oh, this is sad. I was like, I don't want to see it like this.
Yeah, yeah. Like I can see that, and actually, I managed to get part of that because I never saw that one in the theater, but we had surround sound at the time when we watched that.
And
together.
so you got that, yeah. Yeah, thank goodness for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. So it doesn't matter as much for you.
No, it really doesn't.
As it does for me. But,
yeah.
You saw. Yeah, what's funny is there are some movies that I remember when we first started dating. There were some movies that I showed you for the first time that were huge theater-going experiences that you saw for the first time on like a 14, 15-inch TV. Like, saddest thing ever. Widescreen on like a 15-inch TV.
Yeah, in my dorm, or wherever it was.
Sarah's watching The Matrix for the first time, and she's seeing like X2 for the first time. I'm like, oh no!
Well, but I still love the movies. So.
Yeah, no. That means you have taste.
Well.
But I just couldn't. I couldn't fathom that. You did get to see. See, the sad thing is, I think the only Matrix movie you saw in the theater was the final one.
Yeah.
That's like the saddest thing ever. Like that makes me glad I'm not you. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know that the theater made that movie any better or worse.
We get to the end of that movie in the theater, and Sarah turns over to me and says, "Wesley Crusher just saved the Enterprise."
Well, he did.
Well, anyway, this is kind of a short episode. I'm not sure I have really anything else to say on the topic, but it's just kind of interesting to talk about which if you can deal with things on the small screen. I mean, I guess we could have talked about other theater enhancing sorts of things, but neither of us have seen 3D. Because I'm not physically capable of it, and Sarah only goes to movies usually with me, so we just haven't seen 3D.
Yeah.
So I have no opinion on that.
Although I love fork and screen that we have.
Sure, that's a good call. If you've never done that, and you have an AMC or there are other theaters that do it, I don't know if there are other theater companies that do that. But the AMC has a thing called the fork and screen, where you go in and you eat a meal or whatever you'd like with your movie.
Yeah, or you can have popcorn, or snacks. Just anything that they have at concessions is there available too. Or I think we normally have pizza. It's pretty cool. And
there's like a button, and that's how you like summon your waiter or your waitress, and they come and bring you things, and you get a voucher when you. So like the ticket is more expensive to go to that, but it's actually not because it's like an extra $5, but that $5 is it pays for $5 worth of food. So it's actually not any more of an expense because you're eating anyway. So you're getting this voucher, and then you can spend money on top of that, and you can get drinks and anyway, so you're right. I like to do that whenever I can.
Yeah.
Down there, because that's just really fun. A really fun kind of experience. And then there's other sorts of things. I've heard recently of something. I think it's called D-Box. I don't think we have it around here. I don't know exactly what it is, but I think there are some movies that they put this out with where, and if you know anything about this, if folks watching, leave comments, because this is just something I saw. I've seen a couple of reviewers mention, is that it's like it turns a movie into a ride. So like you're in the theater and like it enhances it by like shaking your chair at different points and does things like does things like that. And it's kind of like having a rumble controller. You know what I mean? Of
course, I hate those.
That sort of thing. What do you think of IMAX?
I love IMAX. Yeah, there was one in St. Louis that I went to quite a bit. That was a lot of fun.
We've seen a couple movies together in IMAX, and usually you try to. It's funny when they put out stuff that just doesn't even need to be in IMAX.
Yeah.
At IMAX, it's kind of silly, but like we saw it. I saw Begins. I'm gonna say this. I think I saw Begins 5 times in the theater, and I think the 4th time I saw it was in IMAX. But I know I saw Dark Knight that way also, and I think you did too.
I think I saw Dark Knight that way.
Did we see Star Trek that way? I don't think we did.
I don't think so.
I know one of our friends did, and we were going to go, but then we couldn't or something. But I mean, I saw that 3 or 4 times too, but I missed it in IMAX.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, leave us comments. Tell us your favorite way to experience movies. I know this isn't an exceptionally deep topic or anything, but fun conversation.
Yeah.
Leave us comments. Let us know what you think. Also, if there's anything you'd like Vince and I, or Sarah and I, if Sarah ever fills in for Vince again, to talk about in a future episode, leave that in the comments as well. Check Sarah out every 2 weeks on Ask the Trexperts. We'll have an episode out for you on Monday. And thanks again for watching. I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Sarah, reminding you to get your comic book store spayed or neutered, or reminding you to support your local comic book store.
Really? And we'll see you next time.